I'd just like to thank you for the invitation and congratulate you on having this forum. I really think it's very important that we stake out this ground. I know that at a European Union level, we've always remarked that a third of the good ideas come from Europe, but only 1/6 of them get commercialised. And this is a problem that faces all mutually within the European Union as to how to get that, how to change that metric. And I think it requires not the action of just SFI or just individual institutes of higher education. It requires an integrated approach right across the system. And so that's part of the feature of what we've been trying to do generally in the economy, and it's part of the concept behind the Action Plan for Jobs, is that in order to make the transition from the economy that got us into trouble to a new economy that's strong and sustainable, we have to get a lot of things working together. And I think this is probably the best illustration of how many bridges have to be built. Clearly, we have to build bridges between the research community and the commercial and industrial community. That has been hugely important, and I think we can look back on a lot of good work that has been done, even though there's a long distance to go. I mean, I think, for example, the tech centres where EI, Enterprise Ireland and IDA brought business together to identify problems and then seek to avail of the research community to solve them. That's been a very worthwhile initiative. I think Mark's initiative in insisting that we now move to world-class research centres, that insisting that there be outside partnership funding coming from business. I think that's been very important in getting the focus that, it's not just good to have great ideas. Great ideas won't change the world unless someone actually plucks them out and applies them and they become successful businesses. That is an essential part of the journey, and I think the approach that he has taken to building these, to date, 7 major clusters, including, and I just heard him talk at the very end as I came in, the concept of big data and the journey that, is opening up a very exciting journey of using the huge amount of information that now is available to build new business models, to build new ways of doing things, to back that up in so many exciting ways. But I think it's not just about doing those sort of things. I think we have to harvest the ideas more effectively, and I certainly look to the Central Technology Transfer Office as being giving impetus to using those ideas. I think we need to recognise that entrepreneurship, I suppose, is the magic ingredient that builds that bridge, and that perhaps we need to be more open to bringing entrepreneurship into that process at an earlier point. And I think, universities, and Brian, I think, is probably one of the presidents of our universities who is pushing out this boat, if you like, to try and bring entrepreneurship more into the core of a lot of the courses that are taught and a lot of the research that is undertaken. The other exciting part is getting finance, and I think we have invested heavily in building over the last number of years a good environment for seed and venture capital to support the opportunities and ideas that are coming out of research. I think we can, we recently announced 175 million, which we hope to leverage up to 700 million in a programme of seed and venture money operated by Enterprise Ireland in partnership with different players. We have committed again to another 6 years of such funding, and I think that's built on good confidence. If you look at the deal flow coming through from our seed and venture funds in the last number of years, the new projects have doubled in the last 2 years compared to the 2 years that went before. We're getting really good deal flow, and I think we need to have the confidence to push that on. So I think what we need to do is to build out from our strengths. We have obviously very fortunate to have some of the most ambitious and innovative companies picking Ireland as a location, and those IDA companies who increasingly are using Ireland as a place to do innovative work. I think that's a really exciting, stake in the ground, saying that there is international confidence. You can see it also in the ratings of Ireland, as both in terms of its scientific excellence and a place to do innovation. We are clawing our way up into the top 10 in those really important classifications. And I think there's a great opportunity to build on that. And that's our ambition. And in our action plan for jobs, we've developed this concept of disruptive reforms, where we've picked areas where we believe there's, if we coordinate many resources across many departments and agencies and players, we can make a difference. Two of those are the Health Innovation Hub and Big Data. And I believe, we really can be a good test bed for development in whether it be connected health or the many other exciting changes that are happening in the health area. If we can be the place where test bedding occurs, where our health institutions who are undoubtedly have really talented people, if they become the test beds for new ideas, it does open up huge opportunities for us. Similarly with big data, which is transforming businesses. You can see it already. The data show that companies who seek to mine data as a way of developing their business, they are far more successful than those who don't. The possibilities are opening up in that sphere are really exciting. We need to position ourselves to have the skills here, to bring together the exemplar projects in the public service, to apply them, to have the open access to data that's necessary to sustain it. We need to plan the different elements. So I really think your theme of innovation being at the heart of what we need, it's one that when I took up this job first, we said, one of the things that I spoke of was the need for an innovation revolution to drive the transition. And I think that's absolutely still the case. And innovation is not just about the men in the white coats, though those undoubtedly are important. Innovation is really a state of mind about trying to do new things in new ways and test those boundaries. So I think, Silicon Republic have been, I suppose, at the heart of championing Ireland as being the go-to place for companies who want to innovate, who want to start up new businesses. And that's something that we really need to cherish and build out. And it's certainly one of my ambitions that we would, stake that claim and continue to rise in those rankings. But most of all, attract, people to create new businesses, new ideas, and obviously using those new ideas to create a strong and vibrant economy that can employ the many talented people that we produce here in Ireland. So I just am delighted to be here to support and sustain your work in any way that I can. We are currently working on our 2014 action plan for jobs, and we welcome ideas as to how we can enhance that environment. The small things we can do each year that over time build to a strong capability in Ireland. So rather than stop your flow either of having a nice healthy breakfast, which I see in front of you there, or an intellectually stimulating panel, which I know you have here, maybe I should step out and just thank you for the opportunity to say a few words of encouragement and support for your work. Thanks very much.